Yeah, good day, Dr. Sooraj. He is also the chair of administration committee for the College of Medicine, having the responsibility of scripting and selecting the aspiring applicants for pre-med and MD program. So today he is here to present on the topic requirements for admission to an MD program. Once we welcome you, Dr. Sooraj, over to you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your brief introduction about myself. And very good morning to all the participants in this session. So once again, myself, Dr. Sooraj. I'm the Assistant Dean for Student Affairs and Head for Admissions for College of Medicine. So today's topic, it's going to be more like an informative session as well as interactive session, depending upon your feedbacks as well as queries. So what we'll be discussing is about the requirements that we are looking forward for as the part of admissions committee of any of the medical school. So today we'll be discussing in this session regarding in what perspective any applicant who is aspiring to become a physician is being scrutinized and is being selected by the admissions committee. So what is basically the admissions committee? So any medical school, irrespective what we are discussing about Texila University right now, any medical school, you'll be having a dedicated committee known as admissions committee, who is responsible in selecting any suitable applicant for that particular medical school. So this admission committee is the overall deciding committee depending upon the number of seats allotted for that particular intake, as well as the number of applicants that we are having right now. So the admissions committee is basically composed of faculty members of MD program, as well as we have student representatives, which is being nominated by the student council. And the main purpose of having student involvement is to make sure that we have the fair practices in terms of selection of any futuristic applicants. So I just wanted to bring in to your notice, when you are sending your applicants through your enrollment advisors or through your agents, these applications that is being selected by the admissions committee becomes the final decision of that university. So what is basically that we part of being the admissions committee look forward for? The main thing that we look forward is the requirement criteria, which we have selected and we have maintained it for several semesters. So over the slide itself, you can see one of the major requirement, okay? I will stress that word, one of the major requirement, not the only requirement, that is your GPA. Every school has got their own benchmark in terms of the GPA. So right now over here, we have the benchmark or we have the minimum requirement in terms of GPA for our MD program is 2.7 out of 4 scale GPA, not 5 scale GPA. Out of 4 scale GPA, it is 2.7. So minimum age requirement that we have for applicants should be of minimum 17 years. However, if we have any applicant who is having advanced academic grades or advanced academic performance in certain countries, you can skip certain classes in case you have acquired your academic proficiency during your younger days. So any applicant who is having less than 17 years, definitely we need the parental consent. Otherwise, if you are having minimum age of 17 years, you are welcome to apply yourself as well. And one of the major criteria since Texila American University point of view, our university is an international university having representation of nearly 46 different countries. So definitely we need one major requirement, that is of having no criminal background. So that is not only the requirement from our university part. Right now, we are serving our academic institution in Republic of Guyana. And it is also the requirement of immigration laws that any applicant who is traveling to Guyana in terms of occupation or academics, they should be having no criminal background. So basically what all major requirements that we look forward for in every applicant. Once you submit your application along with your academic details about yourself, which I'll be discussing in detail in the upcoming slides. So what we are looking right now is minimum requirement of 90 college level credits. That is, if you have bachelor's degree or master's degree, definitely you are eligible for direct MD program, which is of 4 years duration. And we have our screening test that also I'll be giving you insight in upcoming slides. However, if any student, for example, in Asian countries, we have the education pattern of 10+2. So many applicants won't be joining with their bachelor's degree. For those applicants, we have our own pre-med program that is equivalent to 90 credits. And once the students clear these 90 credit equivalent pre-med program, after they clear our qualifying exam, they are eligible for MD program. So basically what subjects we are looking for the 90 college level credits. The first one is your basic science requirement when it comes to your MD admission in organic or general chemistry with practicals. You should be having a course which is aligned or oriented with organic chemistry, and it can be also with your laboratory requirements. Then we have the requirement of general biology with practicals or laboratory requirement, physics with practicals or laboratory requirement. English is mandate since we are running an international university, so English is the common language, and I believe English is the only one international language which is being used in most of our tertiary level education worldwide. Even though we have certain regional languages or other languages besides English, but we give preference to English. And if you are hailing from any particular country where your language is not English as a national language, we require the English proficiency test such as TOEFL or IELTS. And definitely, we look forward for students having any statistics or calculus experience. So these are your educational requirements that we are looking forward for in each and every applicant. So let me walk through with our application process. Every university have their own application process, and every college website will be having in detail description of their application processes. So over here, we have our own dedicated sales and marketing department with specific enrollment advisors. So they are the first point of contact with you who will be guiding you through each and every step of your application. All you have to do is contact with your respective institutions, contact with your enrollment advisors, discuss with them what you have completed in terms of your academics, share your valid transcript, especially official transcripts. And based upon your queries, admissions committee will be helpful to walk you through our admission process. So we have our own online website where you have the detailed information. All you have to do is register yourself, and you will be getting step-by-step enrollment details via your email. So what are the documents that you have to submit when you're looking for MD admission, irrespective of which university you are looking for? The first thing is completely filled application form. One of the major responsibility of admission committee is to scrutinize the application. Any application which is not filled completely will be rejected without any further appeal. That is our process, because application form is the valid document that we take forward until you get completely enrolled with us. So please make sure any university you're looking forward for, please make sure that you fill your application form carefully, and please furnish with adequate information. Second, the most important document, that is personal statement. So what basically is a personal statement? Personal statement is nothing but it's all about yourself. We look forward for well-tailored personal statement. We are going to see you for first time in our life. We don't know you. We don't know anything about your academic qualification. We don't know anything about your personal achievements that you have attained so far. So this particular document, that is the personal statement, gives the complete reflection about yourself. So these are the points that you should always remember when it comes to writing or drafting a personal statement. You should start with about yourself. Always remember, when it comes to personal statement, be genuine. Don't try to impress the third person. Reflect what you are. That's it. Don't come up with all the informations that you have Googled or you have included from somebody else's personal statement. Write about yourself. Think, write, submit. That's it. So introduction about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? And what have you done in terms of your academic qualification so far? How were your grades in your high school? How were your grades in junior college? What have you done? And what is the main perspective about yourself? So that a small paragraph we would look forward for. Second point, why you want to study medicine. Everyone starts, I want to help people, I want to remove pain. Please don't start about yourself with all these kind of statements. These are all general statements. Nobody's going to get impressed. Why you want to become a physician? Whether you want to become a physician, a surgeon, a medical researcher, or medical educator, bring out the reason, the genuine reason why you want to study medicine. What is the goal that you have set for yourself? That is the most important. Next is about the medical school. Irrespective of any medical school you are joining, there should be a small statement or a small paragraph. Why are you choosing this medical school? You're approaching that particular medical school. On what basis you're looking for that medical school, and what is the level of expectations that you have from the medical school? That makes your personal statement impressive. That makes sure that the applicant is more motivated and genuine. The applicant is doing himself or herself a small homework about that particular medical school where himself or herself is getting enrolled to. So please make sure that you have the valid reason why you're choosing that medical school. What you want to achieve from that particular medical school. That is what we look forward for. Fourth point, your personal experience. Any psychological incident, any motivation that you have been given by, it can be your family member, it can be from your society, it can be from any incident with your friends. What experience made you realize that you are the one to become the future doctor? That experience really impresses your personal statement, and that is what we as part of admissions committee look forward for. Next, roles and responsibility of a doctor. What qualities do you believe that a doctor should have? And when you analyze yourself, what qualities you see in yourself? That is what we'll want to see. Roles and responsibilities, what you want to be and how you want to be. That should be mentioned in a very tailored fashion that makes the personal statement really impressive. And trust me, these points, that is your personal experience and the roles and responsibilities of being a doctor from your point of view, impresses any interviewer or the committee. So please make sure that any personal statement that you write, your personal experience, your motivation, your story, we want to hear from you. And the roles and responsibilities of a doctor from your point of view. These points should be well tailored. Next, about the role model. Do you have any role model? Yes or no? Be genuine. Anyone who has motivated you in your life, whether it can be your mom, it can be your dad, it can be your siblings, it can be your distant relatives, sometimes it can be your teachers. I had got certain applicants where they were patients and looking upon the physicians who treated them, they got motivated. So be genuine, who the person is. Role model, it also influences in terms of your drafting of personal statement. And last but not the least, what is your final achievement? MD program is undergrad degree. With MD program, you cannot stop. Always remember, when it comes to your future steps, that's what we want to see. You want to complete just MD degree? No, that's not enough. Always remember, being a physician, being a doctor is a lifelong learner. You cannot stop your education. You cannot stop yourself from getting more and more qualifications in terms of whether it's in fellowships or certification. You should always keep on going further and further. So with all these documents, please make sure that you draft your personal statement in very attractive way. So that was about the requirements in terms of your personal statement, how to write a personal statement, and how we analyze any applicant based upon the personal statement submitted by you. Next, the third most important document at the time of admissions about your qualification. Whether you have completed your O level or A level, O is for ordinary, A for advanced level. Whether you're from any country, whether you are from India, whether you are from other Asian countries, whether you're from Caribbean, please share your valid original transcripts with us. If you have completed your bachelor's degree, if you have completed your master's degree, that is what we first give the preference to. If you have, please share that also with us. Then we need letters of recommendations. Letters of recommendations is required in terms of endorsing about yourself. When it comes from your previous institution teachers, whether it can be head of the institution or it can be your teachers, please make sure you have 2 good letters of recommendation. 2 is the minimum requirement. We accept even 3 letters of recommendation. You have certain medical schools where you have minimum requirements of 3 letters, 2 from the academic personnel and 1 from non-academic personnel to know about your curricular as well as extracurricular achievements. Then your photographs, of course, and MCAT scores that is applicable for US students. Okay. So once we get all these documents, as I mentioned about the admissions committee, we as part of the admissions committee, what we do with these documents that you have sent. So the first step is, as I mentioned, any application which is not filled completely will be rejected. It's not that you are banned forever. You have the opportunity to apply again. Okay. But once we get complete document, then only we'll proceed for our upcoming steps. So when it comes to evaluation of every application, for example, we have a seat of 50 to 80 seats in one particular intake. And if we get more than 200 applicants, we cannot give admission to everyone. So that is when the admissions committee becomes more critical in terms of selection. So your rejection criteria increases with incompleteness of your application form, as well as lack of any of these required documents, as I just mentioned in my previous slides. So we have 2 major qualifying rounds. This is applicable for those students who have completed their bachelor's degree and looking forward for direct 4-year MD program. So this is what we perform in terms of analysis of each and every students at our institution. Every medical school will be having their qualifying examination as well as their requisites before you are enrolled. So please make sure you go through their website, have interaction with the university officials, get more insight about their qualifying exams, and please make sure that you are well aware of each and every process and requirements in terms of qualifying exams. So at Texila American University College of Medicine, we have 2 rounds of evaluation. One, to check upon the cognitive skills of every applicant, how good you are in terms of your academics. Always remember, you're entering into a professional college. You're entering into a med school. So definitely, you will be tested upon your academics, not only with your grades, but with our qualifying exams as well. I'll be giving you more detail about what we are checking in each and every step. So as I mentioned, we have 2 steps of evaluation. One for the cognitive skill, which is known as TMAT exam. That is nothing but Texila Medical Admission Test. And next is MMI, which is basically to assess your non-cognitive skills. MMI is nothing but multiple mini interviews. And I will walk through how we perform or how we assess any particular applicant based upon MMI. So always remember, admissions committee have the right to reject if any applicant is trying to enter our medical school who has been dismissed based upon their academic grounds or because of professional misconduct. It is our strict policy that such applicants will not be entertained. Okay. So that is also the responsibility of admissions committee. And I just mentioned in my previous slide also, there is a requirement of letters of recommendation. And letters of recommendation endorses that you are not having such kind of issues, whether it is academic or professional misconduct. So this is where the importance of letters of recommendation play a major role. So what is TMAT? As I mentioned, we have two steps for evaluation, one for the cognitive skill of every applicant, as well as another for non-cognitive skill of our applicants. So when it comes to Texila medical admission test, TMAT, it is nothing but it's a multiple choice question based evaluation. Every applicant has to secure minimum grade of 70%. It is not that difficult. You have completed your school, you have completed your graduation. It is not that difficult, trust me. So when it comes to TMAT, you'll be tested based upon 200 questions with various level of difficulty. So each and every applicant, they have to secure minimum 70%, and the duration of the TMAT exam is of 4 hours. This exam we conduct via online platform as well as on our campus. On our campus, commonly for those students who are from Guyana. And online exams are given to those who are not in Guyana. So you don't have to fly to Guyana to appear for this exam. Your exam will be proctored with our examinations department. Your screen will be shared. So we trust you. So whatever you are performing, we have no doubts about it. Okay. So when it comes to TMAT examination, so this is the blueprint that you have to remember. Basic concepts of human anatomy. Anatomy is nothing but study of external features of the human body with a little bit of dissection. So this particular topic, most of the students who have completed the pre-med, they can easily nail this subject. And always remember, 25% of your entire examination is based upon human anatomy, which is of basic concepts. Then basic concepts of physiology. Physiology is nothing but the normal processes that human body goes through. Inspiration, expiration, which is part of your respiration. That basic concepts you will be tested upon, which is very interesting topic as well. Basic concepts of biochemistry, what all chemical reactions takes place inside the human body, how a particular molecule of glucose is being digested upon, what is the metabolism of protein, what is the metabolism of lipid, that is what is about biochemistry. That, of course, you could have gone through in any of your science-related subjects. Next one is medical terminology. What does a particular term means in terms of a clinical condition? What is meant by arthralgia? What is meant by myalgia? So all these kind of small words, that is what we will look upon. It is basically a general knowledge concept point of view. And if you are a genuine student having interest to become a doctor in future, you will be having knowledge of most of your medical terminologies. 5% of your blueprint is towards psychology, basic stuff, okay? Fundamental organic chemistry, which you have already completed during your school days, and 5% of your basic biology. So this is the blueprint that we have for our TMAT examination. Similar like this, every institution will be having their own evaluation pattern. That's what I mentioned earlier. Speak to your institution that you're looking for admission. Have chat with them. Have interaction with them, find out what they are looking forward for. So if you're interested to join us, if you're interested to be part of Texila American University Alumnus Association, this is the blueprint that I'm projecting right now. You can take note of it. And if you're looking for admission to our institution, this is how you'll be getting tested upon. Okay, so the benchmark is 70%. So 70%, once you secure, then you are eligible to enter the second round. That is more a fun-related session. Multiple mini interviews. So basically what we are having is 5 different scenarios. Every medical institution, they go for multiple mini interview pattern. The main purpose of having these series of interview is to help the applicants to feel relaxed, and the chances of getting biasness in terms of assessment is very minimal. Each and every different station when it comes to your multiple mini interview is being assessed by different interviewers, not by one particular person. For example, at Texila American University, we are having 5 different stations. We will be having 5 different interviewers for each and every different station. So if you feel that you are not confident enough in one of these interview sessions, not to worry, not to panic at all. You have remaining stations to catch you up and make sure that you have 70% for MMI. So when it comes to multiple mini interviews, as I just explained, it is a clinical scenario based as well as basically to know about your critical thinking, your capability of making decision in terms of ethical grounds, your communication skill, your psychological implications, your reasoning. This is what we look for in multiple mini interviews. So as I said, it is a 5-station or 5 rounds of interview by 5 different interviewers, and you should be having minimum cumulative score of 70%. And once you have 70% in TMAT and 70% in MMI, you are eligible to become a futuristic doctor with our institution. So let me summarize what we have discussed so far. As I mentioned, your GPA. And what is the GPA that we're looking forward for? Minimum of 2.7. And if your personal statement, your letters of recommendation, your performance in TMAT or MMI, or any of your virtual interviews that is being conducted by us, GPA can be flexible. Even if you have 2.7, sorry, not you have 2.7, even though we have the benchmark of 2.7, if you have 2.6, 2.5, we can relax that. Provided your personal statement is perfect, your performance in MMI and TMAT is exceptional, your performance in interview is outstanding, and you really have good letters of recommendation. Okay, so please keep these points in mind. Personal statement, as I mentioned earlier, about yourself. Why are you going for that particular medical school? What is the reason for you to become a doctor? Who is your role model? What is the roles and responsibility of being a physician from your point of view? And why you want to be a futuristic doctor? Qualifying exam, as I mentioned, TMAT and MMI. Please make sure, irrespective of which medical school you want to go forward for in your future, find out how they are going to accept their applicants. How are they going to assess you? Make sure that you have proper interaction with them. Speak to them. You have queries? No problem. Reach out to them. This is how we help our applicants. Every institution will be delighted to help you out. Letters of recommendation, as I mentioned, it endorses about yourself, your academic performance, your conduct certification from your academicians or non-academic personnel from your school, whether it is university level or whether it's junior high. Please make sure that you have really good letters of recommendation, and we look for minimum of 2 letters of recommendation. I'm telling you again, there are certain medical schools who require minimum of 3 letters of recommendation. So please make sure that you ask your enrollment advisors, what is the requirement of your admissions? Always remember, incomplete applications, missing of all these key documents like letters of recommendation, your personal statements, will increase the chances of you being rejected. Okay, so be careful in that aspect. Now, the most important thing that we have not discussed so far, which is in terms of research or voluntary experience. Research and voluntary experience, you don't have to become a PhD holder to do research. Even if you have done any kind of social community outreach related study involvement, that will be a bonus for us to accept you. If you have been part of any NGOs, non-government offices or organizations, which is responsible in community services, if you have given your voluntary experience, it is really helpful for you also. So as I mentioned, GPA is one of the factor, not the entirely deciding factor. If you have good research, voluntary experience, letters of recommendation, outstanding personal statement, and 70% of your TMAT and MMI, GPA can be relaxed. As I mentioned, 2.7 is our benchmark. It can be relaxed to 2.5, not 2, up to 2.5. That is case-to-case basis, and that is the decision which is taken by admissions committee, not from a single person of that committee. So this is how we go through each and every application. This is how we guide our future students into our institution. So I believe I can hand over the session for Q&A. Thank you.
So attendees, do you have any other questions you can ask?
Oh, hello, everyone. It's Mr. Tibin here talking. No, I wanted to ask, it's not something related to the minimum requirements. Thank you very much to the speaker. He spoke very well. I understood most of the things. But then now I have a question regarding some of us were interested into enrolling for medical school. But then the only problem is that we don't know how we go about in terms of getting the funding for the school. So are there any scholarships which are provided by Texila, maybe competitive scholarships that one can apply for so that this can stand a chance to get into the medical school? So some of us were ready, but then we don't know how.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sembonga. I believe your question is pertaining to the scholarships.
Yes.
Okay, so when it comes to the scholarship, we have a separate committee called Scholarships Committee. And once your application is complete, as I just mentioned about the processes, how we are going to scrutinize your application. Based upon the recommendation from admissions committee, it gets forwarded to scholarship committee. And based upon key factors like your performance, like your GPA, the recommendation from the admissions committee, these all favors in terms of the scholarship. And as part of Texila American University, we have general scholarships like scholarship for Guyanese students, scholarship for CARICOM students, and we have scholarship for international students. So they will be able to give you detailed information once the recommendation from admission committee is put forward to them. I hope I have addressed your question, Mr. Siabonga.
Yes. So is it wise to say that one can just only worry about maybe paying for the admission fee, like the application fee alone, hoping that maybe they can get the scholarship along the way, or what can you advise?
Exactly. So you might have gone through the admission process. Once you make the payment for the application, so definitely you are submitting your application, right? That is what every university takes as application fee or admission fee. Different universities have got different words for all these kind of fees that they are going to collect in terms of your initial document submission. Once you have submitted your application, it comes directly to the admissions committee. So before you go for your qualifying exam, it is put forward also initially whether your letters of recommendation speaks high about you, whether your statement is outstanding, your achievements in terms of voluntary work, which is the main criteria that we always look into every applicant. So if you have fulfilled all these, definitely it will go forward to admission committee even before your TMAT and MMI. So scholarship committee will look forward, and definitely through our enrollment advisors, it will be handed over to you with any applicable scholarships and the fee structure that you're looking forward for.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Mr. Siabonga.
Yeah, we have a question and answer in a Q&A session. Like that is a question in a question box. You can continue with it.
Thank you. So one of the questions which has been raised in Q&A box is, are the international students placed off campus or on campus? Are the residents where international students stay in good condition? Okay, so we do assist in terms of accommodation, but we don't have accommodation in campus. We have accommodation away from the campus. And of course, it is of good condition because you are flying to a different country for first time. And we don't want you to be in any kind of dissatisfied situation. We do offer accommodation for first semester. However, if you want to extend, You have all the rights to raise your concern to the Department of External Affairs, and that department is responsible of taking care of your request as well. So your residence related condition, it is pretty good. Okay, next question. Are all of these requirements also required when applying for the medical program of 5 years, 4 years plus pre-med program? Yes, irrespective of whether it is 4-year program or whether it is 5-year program. If you're looking forward for 4 years with pre-med program, so this 5-year duration, basically when it comes to Caribbean part, if you have like diploma degree or associate's degree, such applicants will go forward for 5 years duration. As I mentioned earlier during my presentation as well, if you don't have bachelor's degree or master's degree, you have to go through the pre-med program. So when it comes to pre-med program, TMAT and MMI is not applicable at that point. Once you complete first year of your pre-med program, that is, you have completed first year of your 5-year MD program, then you have to appear for TMAT and MMI. Because TMAT and MMI is for those students who have already completed that particular requisites. I had showed you different subjects that we are looking forward for. So psychology, most of the students might not have completed during their school days, but when it comes to pre-med curriculum, psychology is also one of the subjects. So once you have completed the pre-med program, TMAT will be also easier. So if you're looking for direct MD program, then first evaluation is based upon your TMAT and MMI. But if you're looking for pre-med, you will be going through personal interview with the admissions committee. Except TMAT and MMI, at that point, remaining all documents are required. Your letters of recommendation, your personal experience, your well-tailored personal statement, all should be submitted to the admissions committee. I hope it answers your question. Okay, so I have a query. The lady that was assigned to help me with the application process said I must first show proof of funding. According to her, I cannot proceed with the application once I have funding. Could you please enlighten me on that one? Okay, so I believe you are referring to whether you have sponsorship or whether you are referring to any other type of funding. I'm not clear to this particular question. If you are online, can you speak to me? Okay, so I'll wait for the person who has wrote this particular question to speak freely on this platform. Meanwhile, let me go to the next question. After finishing my degree, will I be able to work in your country or will I have to go back to mine? You're here as a medical student. You will be allowed to be in Guyana with student visa. Student visa and work visa are entirely different and they are not given to the same individual at the same time. So once you complete your degree, if you want to work, so definitely you can, provided you satisfy the rules and regulations of laws of immigration. So when you are here, we don't provide any part-time jobs. We help you with student visa for you to stay in Guyana and continue your MD program. And once you finish your MD program, of course, you have to exit Guyana because you cannot be in Guyana with your student visa after completing your graduation. You can definitely, before you leave Guyana, you can definitely look forward for your job opportunities and you can fly back into Guyana with your valid job visa. So please remember, student visa and job visa can never be given together at the same time. So please keep that in mind.
Okay, no, Dr. Sooraj, can you please address the question? Because I think I also had the same problem. Like the person who raised the question is, so even though it wasn't me, but then I can relate to that question. So the thing is that I also tried to apply for Texila for TAU, but then the problem was that they also, before they processed my application, they asked me for whether do I have a funder, the person who's going to fund me throughout my studies. So immediately when I said no, so I don't know what happened to my application. I don't know what did they do with it. But then it's good that I would like to find out from you, like the answer behind it.
Okay.
How do you go
I'll
about
do one thing. If you don't mind, can you just send me one email so I can look that into your application personally, because I have not received any information in terms of your application so far. If you don't mind, can you just send me one email so that I can look into this concern from my point as well?
Then I'll contact you.
Great, appreciate. So I just want to see your application details and the person that you have in contact with. So I just want to see what is the blockage that you are facing through.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sooraj, for joining with us.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone, and hope to see you guys soon. Take care.
Yeah, thank you, sir.